A festival in South Florida.
It's like a family thing. We all dress up.
Turns a park into something spooktacular. The dad of a boy with disabilities builds a wheelchair-friendly costume. Plus, an annual tradition that's for the dogs. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak. Live.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Samantha Gutierrez.
And I'm Julian Davis. Today is Monday, October 31st, 2022.
Live from the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne Bay studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
A spectacular sight for neighbors in Cutler Bay. Halloween isn't technically until today, but that didn't stop neighbors from starting the celebration early.
As Network's Lauren Wirtz reports, it was 2 nights of fright at the Cutler Ridge Park.
Families, vendors, and golf carts gather here today for this spooktacular event.
My mom and I come here like every year, and my niece and nephew, we look forward to it. It's like a family thing. We all dress up, and so it's a nice thing to come as a family. And plus, I brought the puppies along because this is one of the few events that they allow dogs to come in. Everybody could just come and have a good time and be safe.
There's gonna be a movie, and we are playing a lot of games here. It's like fun being here because like there's a lot of kids and you can make a golf round. On Halloween, you get free candy. Here you can get free candy, so it's like you're just going to other people's houses, but instead it's like a whole party with new people that you don't even know.
It's great to be here, surrounded by people with this great environment, full of kids, people laughing. That's the best part. We did the golf cart parade. Yeah, the candies, the kids have fun, especially my son. He's into the Halloween thing a lot.
This annual event is fun for people of all ages for this spooky season, so happy Halloween. For South Florida Media Network, I'm Lauren Wirtz.
Miami-Dade County is honoring their super.
First responders and healthcare workers are both popular Halloween costumes, but as the network's Sebastian Roche reports, it was real-life hometown heroes who were honored over the weekend.
Miami-Dade County is honoring their superheroes today for the first time ever. The Hometown Heroes Parade is meant to celebrate healthcare workers, frontline workers, and law enforcement for their work of keeping Miami safe during the pandemic. The crowd filled the streets of Biscayne Boulevard from the Bayfront Park to the FTX Arena, where a family fest took place with free activities for the community. Firefighters, police cars, and public transit workers from all 34 municipalities were just a few of the stars of the parade. We interviewed Javier Ruiz, a police officer, for their opinion on the significance of this event.
Well, it's great because as a police department, we're not just sworn officers. The community is part of the police department. It's really, really important. And to have the community come out here and engage with us and show appreciation is just a great honor for us.
Navigating through this global crisis was especially tough for these workers, as their jobs rely almost entirely upon the connection with the community. Mayor Daniela Levincava also has some special words of encouragement to say.
To our first responders and law enforcement officers who protected us during the global health crisis, the pandemic. Thank you. Gracias.
As the pandemic took a great toll on our community, we honor those who put their lives at risk through events like these. October 30th is now officially declared Hometown Hero Day. Reporting from SFMN, Sebastian Rocha.
Luis Inácio Lula da Silva wakes up this morning as Brazil's president-elect. After a turbulent election in Brazil, the results are in, and despite what was feared, no one is challenging those results. Lula, the former president of Brazil, beat current president Jair Bolsonaro yesterday by a tight margin in the runoff election. His inauguration is scheduled for January 1st.
The owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars on the record this morning after troubling message was projected on the team's home stadium. Someone with a projector scrawled the message supporting Kanye West and his recent anti-Semitic comments. It was on display Saturday before the University of Florida played Georgia in the stadium. Shad Khan spoke out yesterday before his team played a game in London against the Denver Broncos.
It's not the Jacksonville I know and love, and all of us have to work together to absolutely put an end to it.
TIAA Bank Field, where Saturday's Florida-Georgia game was played, is the home stadium for the Jacksonville Jaguars, the team that Khan owns.
It's a happy Halloween this morning for the Miami Dolphins. The team's offense was clicking on all cylinders as they visited the Motor City looking for back-to-back wins. After a rocky start in the first half of the game, the Fins were able to step up on both ends of the field, scoring 4 touchdowns overall and stopping the Lions from scoring any points in the second half. The final score was Dolphins 31, Lions 27, and the Fins head to Chicago to face off the Bears this Sunday at 1 p.m.
The National Hockey League has a new costume of the year this Halloween thanks to Easton Oding and his dad. Steph Oding built his 5-year-old son an Edmonton Oilers Zamboni costume that fits directly over his wheelchair. Oding, who was born with a rare genetic condition, couldn't hold in his excitement as he took to the rink in Oilers colors. The NHL declared it Costume of the Year.
Only in Florida would you need scuba gear to carve a pumpkin.
That's still ahead, and so is his story. They are even cuter in costumes. We'll show you the annual Halloween celebration. Stick around. We'll be back in just 2 minutes.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
If you love me enough to tolerate my perfect little pets and all their glorious dander, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere, and just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Happy Halloween! Dogs on display over the weekend at Pinecrest Gardens. It was advertised as an event haunted by 4-legged ghouls and their scary human companions.
And no tricks from the network's Atlantic Key, just lots and lots of doggy treats.
Costumes here, costumes there, costumes everywhere. That was the theme of last Saturday's 12th annual Halloween.
It's Happy Halloween here in Pinecrest, where Paws for You hosted its annual event at Pinecrest Gardens. The event was filled with fun, but most importantly, lots and lots of dogs.
The event was held to raise funds for Paws for You, where there was doggy obstacle courses and pools, vendors, food, and more.
Everything goes back into the rescue. We do the first month of heartworm and tick. We spay and neuter all the dogs that come in, treat them for any health issues. Most of them come in with some sort of like heartworm or hookworm or something like that. So a lot of cost goes into that.
One of the ways to raise funds to cover these costs was the costume contest, where participants paid to compete. The competition was separated into 3 categories: small dogs, large dogs, and groups.
We found out about this because she's actually a Paws for You alum.
Yeah, we adopted her through Paws for You, and it was actually through last year's event when we started our search for her.
Similar to them, more people can find their future best friend at this event.
So rewarding to get to play with puppies all the time, but like to see them get adopted, to see their transformations from dogs that come in such bad scenarios or like come in being labeled as aggressive to now going into homes and like getting a second chance at living a happy life is just a really rewarding thing to be a part of.
You can adopt this puppy and more at Paws for You Rescue. I'm Elena Key for South Florida Media Network.
Key Largo taking pumpkin carving to a whole other sea level. The annual underwater pumpkin carving contest on Saturday featured 18 scuba divers competing to carve the best pumpkin underwater. Competitors had to share their space with curious saltwater fish who ate bits of the pumpkin as they were being carved. The winners of the competition received a free trip for two at Amaray Dive Resort, the sponsor of the competition.
That is all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Julian Davis.
I'm Samantha Gutierrez. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.